Hi guys, this is part 2 of Q&A with me and my fiance Connor.
Put the microphone in.
No, because we only have one.
That's okay.
No, because it's difficult and it's
That's
gonna.
okay.
No, Connor, William Dawson, we're not putting the microphone. No, because it's not turned on. I don't know what one's dead and what one's not.
Oh, that's your fault. One will die right away.
La 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 la. Oh, you just messed up my camera, bro.
See, this one's the last one. Let me see.
No. Okay, this is part 2 of. Stop. This is part 2. No more ASMR. You're grounded from it. This is part 2 of Q&A with me and my fiance Connor.
ASMR.
Okay, starting back up where we left off. What does advocating look like from both Connor and my standpoint? Advocating from my standpoint, like for my health and stuff.
Oh.
So advocating from my standpoint is kind of like, well, let's see. Every time I've advocated for myself, it's when I've gotten so fed up that I have sent a very lengthy message to my physician. And I feel like that kind of just shows my ability to advocate for myself is I will message and message and message and message until what I need gets done. And unfortunately for me, because I have sent a very lengthy message to my GI, he has ghosted me. So, unfortunately for me, that advocating method doesn't work very well. Anyways, so Connor, what does advocating kind of look like from your standpoint? Like, if like you're advocating for me, what does that look like for you? No, it's gonna stay down here.
Let me hold
Stop.
it.
No,
Let me hold it.
it's gonna stay down here.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't really had to advocate a whole lot yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, if you find yourself in a position, stop moving it because that muffles it. You're grounded. If you do find yourself in a position where you need to advocate for me, what is that going to look like?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Are you going to yell and throw things?
It's very possible.
Let's not do that, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know. That's a really hard one because I haven't really had to like do anything yet. Like the most I have to do is go to your appointments.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really had to talk to a doctor or anything yet.
So when we get married. Okay. Ow, I just hit my knee on the table. Step off my chocolate. Okay, the next question, I don't share. The next question is, how has being chronically ill affected my everyday life? Being chronically ill has drastically changed my life. I used to be a CNA at Children's Hospital, and then everything just hit the fan. And I ended up having to quit because they would not accommodate me, as well as I didn't feel that there were any accommodations that they could do for me that would actually make my job easier for me. And so I ended up quitting. And then we were living in Westminster, which was 30 minutes away from my family to 45 minutes.
I was going to say on a good day it was like 30, 35.
Yeah. And then we were almost an hour from Connor's family. And so it really was not working out for us and being so far away. So then we transferred here to like Johnstown, Loveland.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're 15 minutes away from my family and 20 minutes away from Connor's family. And
Which means I'm 15 minutes away from work because my work is right near where
my parents' family lives. Yeah. And so it's been like a huge game changer for us in being so close. It's causing us less gas money. It's putting us closer to the people who we need, like support system wise. I was a nanny for a little bit, and then my family I was nannying for wasn't able to afford it anymore. And so I have been without a job since August of 2024.
3-4 months.
Yeah, since we moved here, almost.
Well, you worked for
a little bit. And so I do YouTube the best to my abilities. I do TikTok. I have an Etsy store and I sell Tubi tape.
Go follow it and buy stuff.
What are we following?
Your Etsy account? I don't know how that works.
Go follow my TikTok at Chronically Nelly. And then go check out my Etsy. It's Chronically Iconic Ink. Ink is in all caps. BT dubs.
Ink. Like you yelling at them.
Ink! Chronically Iconic Ink! I can tone that volume down, don't worry. What?
That's why I can have the mic as close as I want then. You can just tone it down.
Men, am I right? No, cut it out. This is my question. And so, yeah. So my life is just, I spend a lot of time in bed. I sleep a lot. Right now, I don't have really any nutrition source because my tube keeps flipping, which is a whole different video and a whole different story on its own. And I have really no physician following my care, which is another whole story and video. And so, yeah. Next question. How has me being chronically
Sorry.
How has me being chronically ill affected Connor's everyday life?
A lot.
How?
Sorry, I just got like really sneezy.
He's snotty, guys.
I feel like it's affected it a lot with being the only source of income. I mean, I'm having to work a lot, and it's not necessarily her fault, just because her not being able to do a whole lot, like she just said. So I feel like just working a lot and just a lot of stress coming from that, but also like having to come home and being like trying to have the energy to take care of her and like doing stuff for her, things that she can't do on a day-to-day by herself, and like taking the dog out more. So I feel like it's just affected it, like just having really long days, just working for 9-10 hours and then coming home and having to do a little more work than the normal person, I guess.
Yeah. Give it to me.
It's mine.
Next question. How? Oh, you can't see me like camera.
That's okay. You do look at my beautiful hair.
Oh my gosh, him and his haircut that I gave him half an hour ago. Okay, guys. Next question. What are some of our fears for the future? I think my biggest fear for the future is never getting my symptoms under control, as well as never feeling any better than I do right now. I think that is one of my biggest fears, and it has been since I got chronically ill, because this is going to sound weird, and I hope I don't like get in trouble for saying this, but I wake up and I feel high, like a different kind of high, not like oh wow, I want to go. Ironically, I don't even know what it feels like to be high. So, Dad, if you're watching this, no, I have never been high before, and I don't ever plan to be high. Okay? My father does watch my videos. But but I feel like I'm in a whole different world 90% of the time. Like, I am exhausted, I am in pain. Like, I am in pain right now. I am exhausted right now. Is that you're fixing my pain? Thanks. And so just never feeling better, never getting better, never getting my symptoms under control is probably one of my biggest fears, as well as never finding a doctor that understands and never helps. So, what about you?
Let me hold it.
You can hold my hand.
I want to hold it. I like having the power. Oh, sorry. I forgot you were leaning on me. Or some views for the future. Her just getting a lot worse before it gets better.
We really hope that doesn't
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest fears. Hi, Daisy. She's staring into my soul. That's our dog.
I'm showing her. Hey, bud.
I feel like that is a really big one, and like getting worse to the point where you're really not able to get out of the bed. Like you're still able to get up and like cook and clean and like take the dog out and like do these videos.
Yep. party girl. Just
somewhat
kidding.
being somewhat of a person, like going out on the weekends and like doing stuff and like stuff like that. I feel like I hope, and that's like one of my biggest fears is for it to never happen.
Mhm.
But I think that, but also like where our future stands, not with like breaking up or like getting divorced, but like just how, but just like how it'll affect our relationship with like the stress that comes with being chronically ill and the fear of all of that, and just like how it can either like not separate you but just like make your relationship harder, and just how it can get in between the two of the people, just like how like I've seen my parents deal with it, and like her family deal with it, even with them not being like physically affected, and like but just seeing how it affects her.
Mhm.
It's just a very hard thing. So I feel like that's one of my biggest fears.
And I do have to say, we're a normal couple. Normal couples fight. In the sense of people fight, you guys. Like, we're gonna have arguments, we're gonna fight, but we always talk it through, don't we? Don't we? We always talk it through. We never go to bed angry.
Yeah, because we were up until 2 a.m. the other night.
Last night, because someone had to be a little chooch and start an argument simply because I had a migraine. Connor is a funny man. Connor doesn't know how to talk about his emotions, and so he works through things by starting arguments. And I know that about him, so I try my darn near hardest not to continue on in the argument and the fight. But I want to see your beautiful hair. And so I feel like it just needs to be said that we're not perfect and we do argue. We do fight. Like
And
a
not
normal
just because
person.
of like health issues.
Yeah,
like,
not just because of health, but because we're human beings and humans fight. Like it's normal to get like it's not no no.
I know.
Not that kind of.
No.
We do not that kind of fight.
No.
Granted, we do smack each other with pillows, but that's it. Okay, next question. What is some advice you would give someone who is starting a relationship with someone who is chronically ill?
Be
Just
patient.
kidding.
No. Be patient. Be considerate to what they're going through. Because like you may be going through it's my friend. You may be going through something, and obviously that's important, and it's obviously like not the same in ways. Like I could be going through like a bad day, and she could be going through a bad day, and she obviously wants to listen and be there for me, but she also may be dealing with something that's way completely different, where at that time, that second, she can't listen because she's in a crazy amount of pain or she has a migraine. So I feel like being patient and being there for your spouse in ways that you probably wouldn't be there for a normal person. So I feel like just like be very patient and considerate to what they're going through. Like obviously don't forget about yourself because that's important. But like I don't know. I feel like that's like a really big one. Be very considerate and patient to them.
I would say, as the chronically ill person in the relationship,
You weirdo.
being like, yes, we have a lot of stuff going on. We're probably always in pain, always tired. But I think, along with what Connor said, part of like my biggest thing that I always try to do for him, communicating how I'm feeling, communicating my appreciation for him, communicating the things that he is doing for me that I am grateful for. Like, I mean, this man cooks every single meal for me. Like,
I also like to cook.
but still, just because you like to cook doesn't mean sometimes you wish that I would cook dinner. I know that you would wish, like coming home from work, and I do sometimes, to my best abilities. The dog is growling, but
because our roomie is home.
but I feel like communicating that you appreciate them, communicating that you are respectful towards them, that you love them, that you are so unbelievably grateful. Like, I write notes for Connor, and he has one on his bedside table right now, and he has one in his car,
in my mirror or my
in your visor.
yeah.
And so I think that is a huge thing to like. Okay, back to what I was saying. It's a big, I feel like I make a huge important deal of communicating that and writing those notes because I love writing the notes, first off. Second off, I know it makes him blush when he reads them. I know he gets the biggest smile ever when he reads them, and I know they make his day when he reads them. And I know that even after he's already received it the first time and he's read it the first time, no matter how many times he reads it after, it's still going to make his day. It's still going to make him happy. He's still going to blush at it, huh? That's him blushing, by the way. So I'd say don't, like, I feel like it's easy for people with chronic illness and disability to use it as an excuse to, oh, well, this, oh, well, that. No. You find ways that make it work for both you and your spouse, you know? Like, I I try my hardest not to let my chronic illness and disabilities be an excuse for anything. Obviously, physically, that's different. When it comes to, oh, can you go do this for me, babe? Hey, I'm in a lot of pain. Is it possible for you to do it, or is it possible for me to do it later? That type of thing. Communicating that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he doesn't put expectations on anything like to physically be done in the apartment because he knows it fucks with me. Sorry, Dad. It's the best way to say it. And he knows that it just messes.
It potty words with me. It's a better way to say it.
It potty words with me.
PG people.
PG-13.
Rated T.
For teen?
Yeah. Like a TV show. That's how they do TV.
You watch too much.
TBT, TVMA.
He's an iPad kid.
I don't have an iPad.
He's a phone kid.
I have a PlayStation.
He's a PlayStation kid.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm cool.
The last question is, what is some advice you would give someone who is just starting their chronic illness journey? This question is more, I'd say, something from me to answer, not necessarily you, because you don't really know, you know? I would say, one thing I would say that has helped me immensely is having a support system. I have Connor, I have my best friend Jaya, I have my other best friend Brianna, I have my other best friend Ava, I have my family, and ironically, I have I have some of the parents of patients I used to help at Children's. And I'd say just all of that together is probably one of the best like support systems I could ask for. And I would say another thing is don't put any expectations on anything. When I first started, put expectations on every appointment, every procedure, every medication, every treatment, and every time I put an expectation on something, I think my expectations never got met. I feel like I would always come out of an appointment upset and frustrated, or I would try medication and when it didn't do what it was supposed to and instead I got side effects because I was like, this is going to work. This is going to make me feel better. This is going to heal me. I would be so upset and so frustrated. And unfortunately, I know a lot of my frustration about like my health and my chronic illness has pushed onto Connor. And I know that I do take it out on him sometimes and I feel terrible about it because it's not his fault, you know. He didn't say, "Hey, you want to be chronically ill?" Well, I don't care because you get to be anyway. And made me chronically ill, you know.
Yeah.
And
Suck it.
so it's not like his fault, but a lot of the time I catch myself pushing that onto him and I know it's not fair, and so I feel like that's why I'm constantly trying to reassure him like, "Hey, I know it's not your fault. I know you're doing the best that you can. I know this, I know that." Because it kicks my butt, and if it kicks my butt, it kicks his butt.
Again, the booty.
Double booty kick.
The booty.
Nobody needs to hear what I just said. But it's just I feel like support system and then no expectations and
Don't have like
not like no expectations, but give reasonable expectations.
Yeah,
Don't expect something to fix everything right away. Don't expect one little medication, stop twisting it, stop moving it. Don't expect one little thing.
to fix everything.
Yeah,
Like obviously have the expectation that
a physician
hopefully,
might
yeah,
listen or a
like
physician might help.
or hopefully it might something might help in
Hmm.
general, but don't have like I feel like we both went into appointments and like into medication and anything to be 100% like crazy fix.
Yeah.
And so I feel like don't have the expectation that like one thing is going to fix everything and you're going to be fine for the rest of your life, but have the expectation like okay, like this could work, this could be a very big help, but not a 100% fix to my issue, to my problem, because that's I mean that's not realistic with anything.
Yeah.
I mean that's not realistic with a day-to-day life with somebody who doesn't have a chronic illness. I mean that's really not a realistic thing for anything. So don't like put that unrealistic image or thought into your head and then be completely like bamboozled when it doesn't fix everything. So I feel like that was one of our big issues was we always had the thought process of okay, this could be a major breakthrough breakthrough. And sometimes it was, or it could help and it has helped, but sometimes it wasn't, and then we were completely distraught and like hopeless.
Yeah.
So like don't lose hope, because I feel like we've definitely gone through stages of like where we're completely hopeless. Like something will hopefully always help, whether it's a doctor or a family member or a medication or something like that, where you can always lean on your support group to help bring that hope back. So I feel like don't ever lose hope, but don't have the thought process that like you're hopeful that it's going to fix everything one shot. Like
Yeah, like
then and
realistic
there. Yeah,
expectations.
realistic expectations.
I feel like right now for us with him saying like we definitely have lost hope in a lot of like things and stuff. I feel like right now is a really big time for us where we are feeling a little hopeless because I have no physician following me and I have no medication. I had to stop the one medication that was helping me because it was starting to give me bad side effects. That I was told if I get these side effects, I need to stop the medication. I can't use my tube because it's flipped. I can't get an appointment to get my tube fixed because I don't have a physician following me and I don't know what like any of the stuff I need is um, to be able to go to another doctor with it. And so I feel like right now that's a big stressor for us, but in communicating with each other and being there for each other, I feel like we've helped each other and I feel like people don't realize that like how much we really need to lean on our spouses. And I feel like in this trials and tribulations of our life right now, we are truly learning how much we really need to lean on each other.
Yeah.
And I feel more so you are learning how much you truly have to lean on me more than me because I have I feel like I've always really leaned on you
Mm-hmm.
because I've learned that. I've learned okay, when you trust somebody and you love somebody and they are there to truly help you, lean on them. They are there for you to lean on. Whereas Connor, I feel like as a man alone, there is that society look where you need to lean on yourself. Nobody can help you, only you can. And it's like I feel like I'm breaking those barriers for Connor and I'm like trying to teach him like, bro, lean on me.
Yeah.
Not physically. Don't physically lean on me cuz but like emotionally, mentally. If you're physically going to lean on me, we're going down. Sorry. We're going to the ground, unfortunately. But I feel like that's like a really big
Yeah.
thing and a lot of people don't realize truly how much you have to lean on each other in like a normal relationship, let alone one with somebody who's chronically ill. I'd also say as the chronically ill person, I feel like I have gotten embarrassed for certain things. Like I am still embarrassed to use a mobility aid and I have the feeling in my body that when I use my mobility aid, I'm embarrassing him. But that's not true. He would rather me use that and feel great and better and not be absolutely miserable and to be able to enjoy our day together than listen to the fact that I'm embarrassed for using something and not use it and be miserable and stuck in bed for days on end because I sent myself into a flare, you know? And so realizing it's okay for medical interventions to happen when they need to happen, along with also it's okay to use mobility aids. Like, I'm 19 and I use a wheelchair sometimes, and that's okay. If that's what my body needs, then that is okay, you know? Like, I, it's hard to accept it,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to like actually allow myself to use it. Like, a lot of the time I ask him, like, should I use it today? And he says, babe, that's your choice. I don't know how you feel. And it's like some days I just have to have him like be like, okay, today's a wheelchair day. Get your booty in the wheelchair. Like, kind of like how today was.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're gonna go to Shields and then stop picking your nail. We are going to go to Shields and I think you'll be able to walk around, and if not, we'll leave. And then we can go to Walmart and you can conserve your energy to walk around Shields and have fun in Shields. And then we'll go to Walmart. And we got to Walmart and he was like, okay, we're doing wheelchair day. And I was like, okay. And I feel like it was good that we did and it was helpful that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Along with at Shields, I'm like, yeah, I'm in a little bit of pain. He goes, are you in a little bit or a lot of it? And I look at him and he goes, you're in a lot of it, I can tell. And so then it becomes a okay, we're gonna go early. Is there any place else that you would like to look at while we're in here before we head out? Because normally we have our specifics that we look at and then we typically leave. And I was like, did I have a specific place I wanted to look at, or was I?
Stickers.
Oh yeah, stickers for my water bottle. And then after that, we kind of was like, okay, is there any place else? If there's not, we're gonna go and we're gonna go Walmart so that we can come home and you can rest. If there wasn't any place else, we went to Walmart. We were in Walmart and we came home. And then the second we got home, I stay up here and I got our food ready. And then he took the dog out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like another thing of he knows my limits,
Yeah.
and him knowing my limits is beautiful. I love that he knows my limits.
I
But
also feel like another advice, like this is kind of off topic of what we just talked about, but sorry, it was just something I was thinking of. Don't lose your voice. I feel like that's something she struggled with a lot with doctors and family and like anything and anybody is if you're struggling or have questions for a doctor or a family member or need help with something, don't not ask because you are embarrassed or you're nervous or you anything. Always ask the questions you have because it could end up helping you a crap ton.
yeah.
Or it could, I mean, anything. I mean, always stick up for yourself and don't not because it could end up hurting your health more than sticking up for yourself would have. And if it does in any way. So I feel like stick up for yourself and always have a voice when it comes to questions or family or just the way you're feeling. Like don't push yourself in a way that's going to harm you if you have a chronic illness that affects your health. Like obviously chronic illnesses affect your health, but like what I mean like with her, if she pushes herself too much, she can end up, like she said, in bed for multiple days or exhausted or in more pain throughout the rest of the day. So, like, if you are in pain or just need a break, don't be embarrassed to take that break or be embarrassed to sit down in a store or have a mobility aid because, in the end, it could help you in the long run. So, I feel like if you're putting your health in the way of not being embarrassed, don't because it's stupid.
Said from a wise man. I'd say piggybacking on like don't be afraid to use your voice is there are so many things in my chart because a physician has misunderstood me or misheard me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got my NG placed, the physician thought I said I don't have any symptoms at night. It's only during the day. And when I tried to correct, I automatically felt disrespectful. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I was being rude. And I wasn't. I was correcting what he had misunderstood. And I genuinely wish that I had continued to correct that because I feel like that would have changed the outcome so much of my care. And I feel
Yeah.
like so many different things would have happened. But because I hadn't, I feel like it caused a good amount of issues for me because now in my chart, it there's a whole bunch of things, and like I have panic disorder in my chart for some reason, which I don't know where that came from. But
I
yeah,
think it's with the needles.
no, I it's from when I passed out after my first ablation. I had lost consciousness after my first ablation. It was the first time I'd ever passed out. And when I came to, I had a panic attack because I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was dying. And then I like magically I pass out in the bathroom and I wake up in my bed in the hospital and I'm like, "Huh, what?" So like yeah. But um I think that is all that we have for you guys. So, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, check out my TikTok, which is also chronically Nelly,
Do you have an Instagram?
which is also chronically Nelly, and comment your favorite cereal. What's yours?
Reese's Puffs.
I'm surprised you didn't sing the song.
Reese's Puffs for sure.
My favorite would probably be Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Puffs. Or Crave. Crave is pretty good
Never
sometimes.
had grape.
Really? We've had it here a couple
I've
times.
never eaten it.
That's funny. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time we post a video.
Yeah, losers.
What is with calling them losers? Anyways, love ya.
Boy.
I got some color back. She thinks so too. I'm almost me again.